Then you can leave. Then you can leave right after your report.
He's also
How are you? Good. Good. Guess you're not good, are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Good.
I'm just here for water and sewage taps. That's it. Quick thing and I'm out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that? They told me to be here Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Robert did.
I'm about a water and sewer tap. He's good.
He texted me and said Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you asked me when the meeting was. I thought you meant this council meeting.
I don't want to be here.
You need to get water. Okay, folks, it's 6 o'clock. Here we are. It's Tuesday night, July 14th, 2026. This is a regular monthly meeting of the Meyersdale Borough Council. We'd like to welcome everybody here in the chambers with us and those watching on our YouTube channel, either right now or later on. So with that in mind, we'll rise for the flag ceremony and the opening prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings which you've given to us. We thank you for Meyersdale, this wonderful town where we live. We ask that you'll special blessing on our first responders, our police officers, keep them safe, the firemen, ambulance. Lord, bless our workers, the borough workers, the mayor. Allow us, council, to make good decisions as we move forward in this great town of Meyersdale. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Patty, the roll call, please.
Mr. Ackerman. Here. Mr. Bear.
Here.
Mr. Christner.
Here.
Mrs. Nagy. Here. Mr. Irwin.
Here.
Mr. Runyon.
Present.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Solicitor Valentine is absent. Mayor Smith.
Here.
And Brian Ryber.
Here. Thank you, Patty. We had two meetings since we met last. I'd like to take them separately. The first was our regular meeting on June 4th, and council members had received a copy of that. I had read through them and couldn't find any issues, but let's discuss corrections or alterations. Karen.
Yeah, on page 3, the last paragraph. So this is misstated. Servpro was over today at 2 o'clock. They met with our police department. We talked about doing at our last meeting a thorough cleaning down there because we have, it's just damp and musty and whatever. We wanted to have it cleaned. So that was the ballpark over the phone number that they gave us. They were out today to give us a written quote, kind of figure out how much time they're going to need, how many people, so we can coordinate that with the police department. So I hope by the end of the week, I can firm that up a little bit. It adds long-term, what I want to do is remove the carpet and install vinyl plank. But clearly, the materials would be more than that number that we got approved. So we either need to look for grant money or budget that from borough money in the fall. But clearly, those things were not included. So we just need to make those edits.
Anything else? Could we have a motion then to approve the regular meeting, June 9th? Ron and Bob. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. We did have a special meeting then. The minutes are very short. I'm going to read an abbreviated version of them. We did not decide to videotape this because most of the meeting was in executive session deciding on borough workers. So I'll be very brief here. A special meeting of the Meyersdale Borough Council was called to order June 30th at 6 p.m. Mr. Ackerman, Mr. Christner, Mrs. Nagy, Mr. Irwin, Mr. Munyon, Mr. Smith, Solicitor Valentine were present. Mayor Smith was absent. Mr. Bear arrived at 6:08, Mr. River at 6:05. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss hiring part-time seasonal worker/workers. Guests, Mrs. Hendershot was present on behalf of her mother Cheryl, who was hoping to speak to the mayor regarding an issue with an alley behind her house. Solicitor Valentine took Cheryl's contact information and will pass it on to Mayor Smith. There was no public comment. Mrs. Nagy made a motion to amend the agenda to add grant discussion. Mr. Smith seconded. Motion passed. 6:05, Mr. River arrived. 6:08, Mr. Bear arrived. Business number 1, approved change order to the ADA restroom. Mr. Smith made a motion to approve the change order to the ADA restroom project to install a door into the council room from the new proposed corridor that connects the women's restroom and install a regular lock on the door at a cost of $6,500. Mr. Ackerman second, motion passed. Number 2, multimodal transportation fund grant. Mr. Smith made a motion to add better access to the police station, back ramp replacement, and upgrades to the playground, walking path to the multimodal transportation fund grant application. Mr. Bear seconded. That motion passed. Mrs. Nagy will coordinate with local contractors to retrieve estimates needed to complete the grant application. She will work with the grant writer to make the application by July 31st. Number 3, hire part-time seasonal workers. At that time, executive session occurred at 6:13 p.m. Mr. Bear made a motion to go into executive session, and Mr. Christner seconded. Mr. Ackerman made a motion to return to regular session at 6:31. Mr. Munyon seconded. Motion carried. Motions or discussions from the executive session. Mrs. Nagy made a motion to hire Landon Rudy and Benjamin River as part-time seasonal workers at a rate of $15 per hour, 32 hours per week for a period of 12 weeks beginning July 6th and ending September 20th, 2026. The secretary was asked to notify the applicants. Mr. Christner made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:29. Mr. Ackerman seconded. Motion passed. So those were the minutes. I thought I'd read for transparency. You know what happened. We didn't record it, as I said, because most of it was in the executive session. So are there any corrections or additions to these minutes? And if not, I'll ask for a motion to accept them. Yes, sir.
Didn't we, besides the other, in the multimodal transportation, didn't we also talk about pull-up bars and sit-up benches? Is that covered in that?
On the playground?
Yeah,
So that isn't eligible for this.
okay, so that's why it's not there. Never mind, it's good. I'll make a motion that we approve these minutes.
Thank you. Bob makes that motion and Ron seconds it. Jeff thirds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, finances, Clarence.
Okay, let's go to the general fund, 160,882.25. Highway fund, 164,930.29. Flood control, 86,756.17. Refuge fund, 14,678.49. Lackaby fund, 1,368.93. Pavilion rental fund, 645.09. Lackaby fund, $4,302.11. Fireworks fund, $12,821.37. General fund, $49,789.26. Farmers market, $165.61. Local tax, $31,129.70. Community center fund, $14,949.02. gas well fee, $3,162.26. General funds money market, $269,381.28. General fund ARPA, $13,539.09. And building. Oh, okay. Building reservation fund, $1,899.01. Under finance monthly billing, review bank statement. That's my report.
Thank you. Any questions?
Do we need the amount of the bills to be paid? Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's not, yeah, monthly bills.
The amount of bills.
Okay.
Usually they read, not each individual one, but the total
Under general
amount.
fund, $8,794.51. Refuge, $19,776.27. That's it.
Okay, any discussion? Do we have a motion to approve the bill and the report? Jeff and Karen, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Your report is approved. Guests, we have,
You had on there review the bank statements, excuse me.
I thought you wanted that on there.
That's fine. So I did some research to save costs and time on behalf of the borough. The county does it in some municipalities. And I checked with Somerset Trust and First National, and they both do it. Any elected official that wants view access for our accounts can get that. Patty's the super user. She just has to send a letter to the bank and say, whoever wants access to be able to view only bank statements, we can have that. So it simplifies everything. So saves time, saves effort, and it's a view only access. It's what the county does for all the commissioners and others. So I would like to suggest to quiet the noise that we would move forward. So I make the motion that any council member that would like view access to the accounts be given that access, so it simplifies everything and saves borough time and makes us more efficient.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
Tom seconds it. Discussion. Patty, how do you feel about that?
Me,
Is it hard to do?
I don't know. She said it's just a letter to the bank.
What you send us now,
You can get it whenever you want it.
you won't have to send it to us.
Okay, all those in favor of moving forward with that, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Guests, Kevin Yoder, flood control update.
Okay, so we have the flood control project ready to go to permits. Those were submitted to Mark about 2.5 weeks ago for review, and I believe Mark was going to handle the submittal on those since he had the communications directly with the Conservation District and DEP in Harrisburg. The biggest issue is going to be where do we dispose of the debris coming out of the basin. So we had a property owner who was willing to take it. The last time we did it, it happened to be in the borough. The contractor didn't have to go on any PennDOT roads. It was all borough streets. I can't find a property owner close to the project that's willing to take that much soil and rock and whatever comes out of it. So the borough needs to decide what are we going to do with it. Any suggestions on who to talk to? It's going to end up being a lot.
Topsoil?
Combination of topsoil,
Sediment.
rock,
Ask John Miller if he'll take it. He does a lot with topsoil,
okay,
so he might do it.
okay.
Level.
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion.
Would it be suitable, if not topsoil, but just for fill, if somebody was looking for fill?
Yeah, you'd have to mix it because you're gonna get a lot of the heavier soil on the bottom and a lot of the silt and, loamy stuff on top that you'd have to mix in, or you're gonna end up, you won't get it compacted good. So that's the holdup right now. We're still going through the permitting side. We're mid-July. I would expect to get some type of approval by the end of August. At that point, if we get the approval from DEP and for the Conservation District, we can put this out for bid and then give the contractors a pretty big window when they want to get in and do it, because it ends up being, weather dependent for a couple of weeks.
Kevin, if John doesn't, you can talk to Garland's,
Okay.
see if he can take some out by the school.
Those are some good suggestions.
We want to try to keep it close because hauling is going to be a huge expense if we haul it too far.
Last time it was right up the street.
Last time we were lucky, we didn't have to,
And that individual doesn't want any more.
we gave him more than he wanted. Yeah, and again, we got a little bit lucky last time because, we allowed the contractor to be a little sloppy with his stuff. If we go on state roads, now that becomes another issue. You almost have to seal the trucks off, or at least do some type of cleaning program to make sure that we don't get in trouble with that. But I'll reach out to John at the Garlets and see, if they do want to take it.
Would you mind coming back each meeting, each month, and we'll put you top of the agenda, Patty, just because this is really important. to
Yeah,
get
hopefully
moving
by
on this.
next month, we'll know a little bit where we're at with the permitting. Mark will be able to update us. a little
Maybe
more.
find some places to
Yeah.
put the
Yeah,
residue.
in the meantime, I'll talk to John and Garlets and,
Kyle lends that to you, his number.
no,
It is 814-289-3707.
okay. Did you say it's Kyle? Yeah, I can give them a call and I can update everybody, what they say, and hopefully we can find a place to put it.
Any questions for Kevin on control? Okay, and you had agreed that you would be reappointed to the Uniform Construction Board. That's coming up later.
Yep, we're good with that.
Thank you, so you don't have to stay.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, Kevin was the only guest. Let's open up public comment. As a reminder, each person has 5 minutes, and everybody keep nice tones, and we'll go ahead and take it away.
I have a
Kelly.
letter.
Wendy.
I'm Wendy Kelly, but I was contacted by a local business owner who wasn't able to make it tonight and asked me to read a letter for him on his behalf. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'd also like to verify that if you guys go into executive session this evening, if you're coming out to vote on anything, is that also gonna be recorded?
Probably not, but it'll be in the minutes and we can do like we did tonight.
Is there a reason why we can't record it?
Public interest.
Yeah, I think
Can
there's
you
a good
stay
bit of
on,
public
Dan, and
interest.
after we come out of it, he says yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Great. So, I'm just gonna pretend I'm him and read it exactly word for word. Good evening, my name is Matt Livingood. I own a laundromat on Main in Meyersdale and appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. Recently, our laundromat has experienced repeated incidents of vandalism during the overnight hours. These incidents occurred in the overnight hours, 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., where there are naturally fewer people around. While I won't go into all the details, those experiences reinforced me for how important a visible police presence can be, not only to respond after something happens, but to deter these types of incidents from happening in the first place. Businesses like mine invest in our community, provide services that residents rely on around the clock, create local jobs, and contribute to the local tax base. Having adequate police staffing helps protect those investments, gives business owners greater peace of mind, and helps keep Meyersdale a safe place to live, work, and visit. I appreciate everything our current officers do. They have a difficult job, and I know they can't be everywhere at once. That's exactly why I believe that if the borough has the financial ability to do so, adding another police officer is an investment, not an expense. Strong public safety protects the people and businesses that have chosen to invest in Meyersdale, and I believe that investment will benefit the community for years to come. Thank you for your time and your consideration. And that was Matt Livingood, who owns the laundromat on Main.
Okay, Wendy, thank you very much. Public comment continues. Susie, come up to the podium, please. 5 minutes, ready, go.
Hi, I'm Susie Decker, and I'm representing the Pennsylvania Maple Festival again. Last Friday night, we had vandalism again. They just trashed the restrooms to the point it took me 3 hours to clean it up. Now, I'm saying these kids are watching what's going on over there because the night they did it, we had no campers. So they're going in, which they get in through the ticket booth. But it was a mess. Luckily, they didn't do any damage anywhere else but there. But we're gonna have a really bad situation. Kids thought it was okay to drink and smoke. They're gonna blow the place up. They were using the men's restroom, which they were using the first urinal for an ashtray. Within 2 feet of that is our hot water heater that's by natural gas. One spark and they could have blew that place to smithereens. So I don't know what to do. I can't live down there. And we're finding out that if we have campers, they're noticing, they're letting alone. Friday night was the first in a couple weeks, nobody, and that's when they did it. But I will tell everybody here, if you're out and about and you see kids running around and they're running around with a hairdryer and a box of tampons, tell them to bring them back, they stole them. And I'll tell you who was in there. But I believe we need extra help. We need somebody to be in there to walk through at night. You know, that restroom, because you guys know where they are. They're down in the corner. They can sneak in, sneak down, and whatever.
Do you have any cameras there?
Not the night it was. Not the night that it happened. But if there's campers, it's all peace and quiet. But you know, I tell my campers they're safe. I tell them we've had nothing of theirs vandalized, stolen, anything like that. But I don't know if I can keep telling them that. That's a camper. But at night, I know what it is. But yeah, you know, I want them to come back. I want these repeat campers to come back. You know, we had a couple from Germany. They praised this place that there was campers come in afterwards and said, we talked to this couple from Germany. And they said, if you don't stay anywhere else, you need to come to Meyersdale and stay. I don't want to close this place. I don't want us to lose the business these campers are bringing in. Something has to be done. Thanks.
Thank you, Sue. Public comment continues. Odessa.
Odessa Johnson Memorial Company, and I am representing the area right down over the hill here. There has been at least 6 cases of vandalism in the last 2 months. Nobody pays any attention until it touches them, and I am guilty of that. That's why I'm here tonight. 3 of these cases have been at my place. The windows have been broken out along the back of the working shop. on property that Johnsons have owned since 1915. The glass blocks in a garage that connects to Mrs. Carusa's house have been broken out. And we boarded up that garage because the roof caved in, and now vandals have taken the panels out of the garage door so that they can get in there where there is equipment that nobody needs to be bothering with. There was a day that we had young ladies sitting on and rocking monuments and looking in shop windows. Monuments are expensive, and those monuments belong to people. If something happens to them, they get broken or cracked or scratched, do you want to have to pay again to have that monument to represent your loved one? There's no need for that. I have posted the property as private property, and for years, we have allowed the borough to park in our lot when there's something going on in the playground. But if adults can't respect private property signs, how can we expect the youth? My next thing will be to fence it off. And I'm sorry, but something has to be done. We need more police protection. Flower baskets have been stolen off of a neighbor's porch. People that live right down here, is it Schenkels, had their cart stolen out of their yard. It was something that they used to haul, and it was tucked away, so someone saw it planned and had the plan to steal it. What else? Oh, the building next to us that used to be Wenzel's dry cleaners is dilapidated. The ordinance to keep the grass cut to 7 inches, the grass is as tall as I am now, but kids have been climbing, trying to get up on that porch. And if they get in there, they could start a fire or something. We need more police surveillance, more police presence. You kids, Shane, Jeff, our own policeman Neil, when you grew up, not a day went by that you didn't see a police officer, because he sat out here and watched every one of you come home from school. He didn't chase you down. He didn't frighten you, but you knew, and of course you did mischief, but you knew if you did something that that policeman was going to show up at your doorstep, you were going to get your, excuse me, ass kicked.
Did we do mischief?
You did.
Hey, I know about you two, so just watch what you say. But yes, a police presence is definitely needed. Why can't we work something out with them? I mean, what do they need? Do they need insurance? How can we work with them? They should be here to explain their needs so that we can get together with them. More police presence.
I would just say, Odessa, with the old Wenzel place, every year, we're contacting this fella 2 or 3 times. We have to call him or write a letter, and the letter did go out, and then he'll clean it up. He'll mow it, and then the next time we have to go back and send him a letter again, so. Right, Patty, we just sent that out this week.
Would the police be able to do anything about that? I mean, there could be snakes in there or.
The police don't want to enforce high grass or ordinances, so that means we have to go to PMCA.
Well, like I said, there could be snakes in that grass, and anybody walking by there could be attacked by snakes or whatever else might be in there. But I think just even the police presence is protection in our community.
Odessa, thank you very much. We went over a little bit there, but I asked you a question, so things are going well. Public comment. It's continuing. We'll do Libby and then we'll do Cheryl. Libby and then Cheryl. Okay.
Hi, my name's Libby Albright. I live on Maris Avenue. I'd like to talk about our great town. On Friday night / Saturday morning, I had to get up for work. I don't want anybody to think I'm against the side-by-sides. I'm not. I am against what happened on Saturday morning. We have that access road that's in between our house and the railroad. You've been up there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, for some reason, they seemed to think that it was okay to use that, and we allowed them to do that. The side-by-sides, the dirt bikes, four-wheelers, whatever, until Saturday. They were up and down all hours of the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Loud music was blasting, the pipes were, I literally slept an hour and worked a 10-hour day on Saturday. So when I come home from work on Saturday afternoon, I decided I was blocking that. Nobody was using it, I was done with that. So we put barricades up. We put the trailer there after it was all tore up. I mean, literally, the mud pit was a mess. So we barricaded it off. And not even an hour after they did that, they come around the other side of our vehicle and go down the other way. So we blocked that off. 10, 15 minutes later, they decided to come up through my yard. So I put a post on Facebook stating that they're not going through my yard. This has now been closed. I was approached on Sunday by one of the young men advising me that Officer Berkeley told him that he was permitted to go through there, that he was allowed to go. It was open access. I wanted to go face him, but of course we never know when, the officers are on. So, because that's not, I paid the taxes. I paid 3 different property taxes. And, Ronnie, you were here when we purchased that property, June of 2011. I had to look it up because this was my husband's idea and I wasn't sure when it was purchased. But it's not open to the public and it's not going to be open. We didn't allow it as an access road for emergency vehicles because when we bought that, we got tired of all the cars that were getting stuck on the railroad tracks and the people that were losing their lives because of that. So that's the only reason we purchased that from the borough to begin with. But without the police, we're going to have this nonstop. I mean, when is the limit for the side-by-sides? Is there a time limit for them or are they allowed just to whenever?
I thought it was maybe 11 o'clock. Or did we, I know there was a time limit on it. I didn't have the time to ask Patty to research the ordinance or myself either. But I think there is a time limit. And they're all supposed to be licensed.
Well, I'm sure they are. I mean, like I said, I'm not against them by any means. But that access road there is the only way that they're not going the main road to get where they need to get. Because they can come up over Cobblestone Hill and come up, which is all, they can use those. And I was fine with them using it until it was so much destruction and so much disrespect that it's not going to happen anymore. Because, the neighbors down the street had their lights on and I knew they were up and they're older and they have health problems. And I'm not going to allow it to happen anymore. So when I was told that they were given permission by an officer, which correct or not correct, I just felt that I needed to come here and let you guys know that we do need police coverage. There's no doubt about that. There has to be more police coverage because that's craziness. Some of us people do still get up and go to work and try to pay our bills. And for 40 some years, I've paid taxes in this town, three different properties now. And I can't understand why we can't have more police protection. And I do want to thank you, Shane and Ron and Karen for listening to me vent on Sunday because I was above livid, I should say. So I do want to thank you for taking the time to listen to what I had to say.
Libby, I did have a conversation with Neil. That conversation never took place with him.
Okay, like I said, I just was repeating because they brought a map to my house to show me my property. I guess I'm going over it.
You're good.
Okay, they brought a map up. He brought a map up to show me that they could go through there. They were told to go through there. It was Chestnut Street. I'm like, no, I pay the taxes on that. I know you're not going to be using that. It's done. It's closed down. And the fact that they got so disrespectful after we closed it to try to make their own roads and then go through my yard to make their own road, that's when I decided that it's gonna be shut down. No one's gonna use it. So,
I know my sister lives on Main Street, and she were awoken, she and her husband in the middle of the night, loud motors and music playing.
yes.
So they're going down on Main Street
Well,
also.
Saturday night was, that was the worst that this has been since this whole four-wheeler thing started, was Saturday. Well, not night, morning. And when I got up, they sat right out there with the music was blaring. And you know what the quote to me was, "You live beside a train track." Yeah, I do. For 40 years, I've gotten used to the trains. I'm not gonna have to, I don't feel I should have to get used to that on my property. I don't think I should have to sit there and listen to that stuff. So I just think if we had some kind of police enforcement, that would help us.
noise ordinance as
Nope.
We don't,
I would hope so, but
no,
that's
we
pretty
don't.
sort of.
Libby, thank you. We'd have to go over because we asked you a couple questions, but thank you very much. And that's something, you've come to the council to make your concerns known, and we're going to have to work to get that correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheryl, as public comment continues.
Hi, everybody. I'm here because of an alley in the back of my house. The neighbor, there's three of us, four of us attached to this alley. And I have a survey showing the situation. I have pictures on my phone showing the problems that I'm having. And came to Patty to try to get the mayor to come and address it and help me. And Valentine, and no calls, no response back. So that's why I'm here to talk to all of you and hoping that we can get this resolved. I've tried to talk to the neighbors to get it resolved myself, and they say the alley's theirs. They have right now a bed with a race car on at the one end that you can't come down that end. And at the other end, there was two trees that Eddie Vogel planted that I can't come in from that end. They live on the ends and they live on Lincoln Street. They have access to their property without coming down the alley. I'm the only one that needs that alley. I've used it, to have trees cut from my neighbor. This trees, branches is growing on, hanging into my yard. And he uses a bed or a truck with I don't know, he stands in it and cuts it down. I haven't been able to do that with the situation this year. Roots. My other, on the other side, which is Ed Vogel, he planted two trees, and the roots are all over that alley, gigantic roots. My sewer line, when I moved into this Habitat house in '97, I found out that sewer line runs between Wendy Gerrans on my left side, when I'm facing the front of the house, runs down between our houses and down that alley and goes out on Maple Street. I have a break. Right now I'm dealing with the break, a sewer break, and dealing with a plumber, Cody from Meyersdale. And the sewer break is in my backyard. I've got even the roots from those trees in my backyard. They're everywhere. And the ones in the alley are, like I said, gigantic. I don't know what else to do. I mean, he said that this Cody, the plumber, he said that he's going to have to dig up the whole alley and the coming down between my house to see what all is going on here. I have rats in my house. I have mice in my house. I have stench because when I'm using the toilets or washing things, all that's coming into my backyard. Like I said, I don't know what else to do. I need help. Like I said, I tried to work with them, but they're not budging. So.
If I can respond, I've sent police up. We had conversations a year or so ago with the police. Police can't do anything without survey. All the property has to be surveyed. Spoke with Solicitor Valentine. It is 100% a civil matter. It is a civil matter that will have to be taken. I've told you this before. It will have to be taken in front of Judge Bell, and Judge Bell will have to make that decision on who is right and who is wrong. That survey paper that you have in your hand, that could possibly help you. I haven't seen it, but that could possibly help you. But it is 100% a civil matter.
Okay.
It's gonna have to go down to the JP.
Brian, I'm assuming that alley's not paved. It's just like a right of way.
I'm looking at
It's
Google
like a
Maps
right
right now.
Click back.
I was told about that alley for it to be paved and that we would all have to agree to it.
That's true.
That's what I was told.
Who owns the alley?
Be the borough.
It's, like I said, it runs down in the back of all of our yards.
Basically, it's a paper alley. It should be a paper alley. It'd be a grass alley.
You know, I hate to put you off another month. Our solicitor, I'll just announce it now. He has some a family medical issue, he's emergency, that he won't be here tonight, either here or by phone. So he would be the one, if he were here tonight, maybe to give us some guidance. But Brian, maybe we could run up there tomorrow or something at lunch and you show me where it is.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Sure.
So I want to get a picture of this myself.
She is
But
right.
I know you're frustrated. I would probably,
It's driving me nuts.
yeah,
Like I
but
said,
let's,
these issues and what I'm dealing with, I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm so worked up and put
Okay.
out because of this situation.
okay. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your responses. I want to go up. Can we go up tomorrow and look at it, maybe at lunchtime?
I'm just looking at my map right here. It's an unnamed alley, but it's showing there's a 20-foot right of way in there.
Which would be the boroughs.
The boroughs, correct.
And you really can't encroach on a borough.
No.
I'm gonna let this survey, it shows, put the names on
Do you have a
there.
copy of this? This is.
I got lots of them. Yeah. You can have it.
How do you have a way to contact her if they want to talk to her? You have her phone number?
Yeah. So that's what she is.
Okay, to keep things rolling here, we're getting the paperwork done here. They're talking a little bit, so let's continue. Public comment continues, folks. Who else wants to come up and give it to us? Yes, sir. You got 5 minutes, come up and we'll start the clock.
It's 233.
Ready, go.
62.
62, 16.
Thank you,
You're
everybody.
welcome. We'll start you over.
Hi there, my name is Ed Kuster. I've lived in Meyersdale, either in the borough or Summit Township, all of my life. This is my first appearance at a town council meeting, but hopefully not my last. I can no longer sit on the sidelines on important issues while decisions are being made without me expressing my concerns. I may be here representing the black sheep. I'm used to that. It's beyond time for the younger generations to become involved, and here I am. This town does not need more police. We do not have enough of a crime problem that I see to justify adding police officers or increasing their presence. Crime is dealt with as it happens, and that's life. This entire country is turning into a surveillance police state. That's not what freedom is supposed to look like, especially after we have just celebrated 250 years as a free nation. We can keep each other safe with a better sense of community, consideration for others, and looking out for one another, like we've always been supposed to do. If we want Meyersdale safe, we all need to take a little responsibility for that. In general, I'm tired of seeing police abuse their authority, bring violence wherever they go, and protect property over serving and protecting the people. Police have killed 663 people this year already. ICE just shot and killed their 11th person on the street yesterday in Maine. In 2025, police have killed 1,278 of us. We also do not need more snakes hiding in the tall grass, issuing unnecessary tickets to the people of Meyersdale. God forbid somebody go a couple miles per hour over the speed limit on their way to work, as more and more people struggle to put food on the table, let alone pay for a ticket or increased insurance premiums. We as Americans need to stop watering down or flat out suspending our constitutional rights and civil liberties in the name of safety. In case you haven't been paying attention, the police across the country continue to provide an excess of examples. They're not here to always serve and protect, rather to generate revenue, control us, and often ignore the very laws that are to uphold. For examples, speeding and use of electronic devices while driving. We're just supposed to accept that. Police very seldom even prevent crime, but a neighbor caring for their neighbors may do and have already done just that. Additionally, there are already cameras on nearly every business, family home in town, which is more of a crime deterrent than I see another cop providing. I'm sick of living in a world where there is rarely any money for helpful social programs, healthcare, or even repairing the several dilapidated sidewalks in town, which limits access for our disabled and elderly population. There's often money for a militarized police force. It does not take a lot of effort to pay a little closer attention to what's going on around us. I don't mean necessarily by being nosy or invading anyone's privacy. I mean just looking out for one another a little bit more, practicing empathy, having compassion, and a little consideration for the greater good. That doesn't come from hiring more people with badges and guns. I've already noticed that the borough police seem to be a little bit more active. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and so is Summit Township. That's not a bad thing. There are also several state troopers in town regularly, and most of the time what I see them doing is hiding off roadways, creating speed traps for us.
We had about a minute to go.
In all of my life, I've never had police officer actually help me in any way while on duty. As soon as you interact with one, they just begin collecting evidence against you for some infraction, no matter how small. Don't you dare threaten their ego. There are many, many better ways to spend money in this town. If we were swarming with violent crime or gang activity, perhaps I'd feel differently. But we are a town of retired folk, people just trying to survive. Give the money to our fantastic fire department or our ambulance service. This is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. However, I see us becoming the land of the scared and the home of the caged. Thank you.
Ed, you made it. 15 seconds to spare. And I like the fact that you're here and you would be a good one to run for borough council and get some of your young friends. That's what we need in this town, the young people to take over. You have your ideas and don't put that up here, I think. You'd be a good council member.
I appreciate it.
Don't brush it off. Okay, thank you for coming. Public comment continues. It's wonderful public comment time. Everybody loves it. Going once.
Okay. So I got an email today from, actually you got it too, Jeff, from Mike Roden that I would like to read. Meyersdale has become one of the premier trail towns along the Great Allegheny Passage, welcoming thousands of cyclists, hikers, and visitors each year. That success brings new opportunities, but also new public safety responsibilities. Growing up here in the 1980s, I remember a time when our community supported a minimum of 5 full-time police officers: Sheridan, Vernon, Ron, Rick, and Ray. Their presence helped create a visible sense of safety and pride throughout our town. Today, while we currently only have part-time police officers, our community welcomes far more visitors than it did decades ago. A safe community is one of the most important factors for residents, visitors, and businesses considering an investment in Meyersdale. Visible law enforcement reinforces the positive reputation our town has worked hard to build within the Gap community. For these reasons, I respectfully encourage borough leadership to review police staffing levels, department funding, and officer compensation. This review will ensure Meyersdale remains competitive in recruiting and retaining qualified law enforcement professionals while providing a level of police coverage that reflects the community we have become. I respectfully ask Borough Council and the Police Committee to make strengthening police coverage a priority during the upcoming council meetings. Thank you for your consideration for this important issue. Sincerely, Mike Roden.
Yes, I did also receive that too. Thank you, Karen. Public comment?
Can I say something?
Sure.
So, I've been living in Meyersdale for 16 years now. And the person that keyed my girlfriend's car and stuck a knife in her tire wasn't compassionate and didn't feel sorry for my property, okay? The person that stole an awning off of my trailer and a propane tank wasn't compassionate, okay? There's drugs in this town. There's crime in this town. Don't live under a stinking rock and think that there's not crime going on. When I was a kid growing up, when I saw the cops, that deterred me from doing something bad. If you don't see any cops in this town, people are going to climb on buildings. They're going to tear up dumpsters. They're going to vandalize a bathroom. That's why we need the police. And people ask me when I came to this council, when I was running for this council position, what is my agenda? My agenda is more police. That is it. We need more police protection in this town because I'm going to tell you, if someone would take away my guns, I'm a law-abiding citizen. Do you think those people that don't have compassion for me are going to follow the law and not have guns? No, sir. They are not. So we need police protection. I'm going to protect my household, okay? But we need to think about this. We're not big city New York. We're not Minneapolis. We are small Meyersdale, okay? Even though it's a small town, you know, criminals, they go to where the police aren't. And I'll tell you what, look around when the streetlights come on. You'll be surprised what you see in Meyersdale. I guarantee it, that there's somebody doing something right now. I have people telling me that they're climbing on top of the restaurant down here because they can get on the roof and they're trying to get in there to vandalize stuff. We don't know if it's kids or if it's adults, but that's crime. If a cop was sitting over here, them kids wouldn't climb on that building, I guarantee you. They would go somewhere else. So I don't want to hear, I mean, you can say, you are allowed to say whatever you want, but this community needs more police protection. That's a fact. And not just 6 to 2. You know, and another point is we do have 2 correctional facilities real close. Guess where their families migrate to? And they bring their junk with them. They move closer so they can see their loved one inside those prisons. Okay? And what comes with them? Most of the time, lots more crime. So that's my opinion, and I know what I'm going to vote for because that's what I want in this town. And I hope everybody else wants the same thing I do. I want to be able to feel protected. All right? If my neighbor's house is on fire, yes, I'm going to go over there and try and help. But if someone's robbing them with a gun or a knife, you think I'm going to run over there and try and save them and use empathy and try and talk to them real nice? I tried that. I worked in prison for 28 years. Talking nice to them doesn't work. Guaranteed. I'm done, sir. Thank you.
Public comment, anything else? Let's try to remember, this is public comment time. For the.
I am a
we can-
community member, sir.
Well,
Yeah,
but
me too. I want to
this
make
is for,
one comment.
I
go
understand.
ahead.
I want to make one comment. I am concerned. I've gotten several of these phone calls when we've had vandalism. And thankfully, it's been petty vandalism so far. Maybe not to some of our people, though, that have lost property. And I feel really bad about that. So I think we need to put our money where it matters for all of us. And I don't want to wait until somebody's hurt. We get one of our visitors on the Gap Trail hurt, that goes out on social media, they will bypass town. So that's our visitors, which impacts our economy here. But more than that, I don't want any of our citizens hurt. I don't want them kicking in your door. I don't want them kicking in your door. I don't want this to escalate. You know, 2 part-time people is not very much.
Okay, we've been on this now for about an hour. I don't want to shut anybody off. Is there any other public comment? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Heather Reese. I grew up here my entire life. I didn't live in town my whole life, but I did recently move to town just right outside of the borough in Summit Township. And I served 6 years on the Meyersdale School Board. So unfortunately, I'm a little more educated on what is in the school system these days as far as children go. And we don't live in the same world that we did 20 years ago. We have a lot of absent parents, so kids run amok. We have a lot of grandparents raising children, and they're hard to keep under control because they're elderly. They can't watch them 24 hours a day. They're trying to raise kids that they shouldn't be trying to raise. So there is a lot of things going on in this town, this little town of ours that's always been so nice, that doesn't belong here. I myself am raising 2 teenage boys here right now. And if my children was out vandalizing things, it would happen one time in my household and it would never happen again. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening here because these parents aren't being accountable for how their children act. They're letting them roam the streets all hours of the night. And as far as empathy goes, I would love to have empathy for everybody and hope that people could do better. But unfortunately, the world we live in isn't made that way. I grew up in Rick Brown's house. I was there almost every weekend. And I can tell you, if Rick would have yelled at me for being out on the street at 2 a.m., I'd have had a stroke as a young child because he would have meant business and I would have been back at home where I belonged. So I believe very highly in having police force here because they do scare these young kids into behaving, and that's what they need. If someone comes to my house and breaks in, they're going to be shot in the face. I don't want to shoot anybody, but I sure as hell am going to protect what I have and I'm going to protect my children. So yeah, you need police force. I understand it's a small town and you don't have a lot of money, but you do have a lot of tourism here with the bike trail, and it is bringing money into this community. Sometimes you got to spend a little money to make money. So you want to keep the tourism here. So you have to figure that out. It has to be done. You have to have police force. This town's never been without it. We have less now than we've ever had, and it's ridiculous. We have to take care of the people that take care of us. Your first prayer when you started this morning, or this afternoon, was for the police officers, but yet we don't have enough. We need more. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your remarks. Anybody else?
Yes, I'll go ahead and say it. Since it got brought up, we do have the trail and the people here on the trail, and we still have now 5 years, dogs barking incessantly. We do need the police because I know they don't want to, whatever with the ordinances, and they, they'll try to go talk to the people or whatever, but nothing changes. I'm losing business, so that means the town is losing income as well. I have guests complaining, oh, dogs started barking 5 in the morning. Oh, dogs were barking at 2 in the morning. And I know it doesn't matter because y'all can't hear them. But my guests can hear them. My whole business is based on sleeping, not dogs barking. And I know you don't care, except for when I send you the email or the text that you hate. But I'm looking at every one of you. Every one of you needs to vote for the police and the ordinance that is ruining my business. And I will go away and stop bugging you. Not really.
Thank you very much, Deb.
You do your job.
Public comment? I've been going on some time now.
Say something?
Sure,
I'm
Tom.
just confused. We pay the most salary in the county here in Somerset per hour. We advertise. I don't know what else you want us to do.
There aren't any people working.
Is that our fault?
Yes.
Why is that?
You don't hire the people.
Nobody applies.
Yeah, we have an applicant to vote on tonight.
There. But we pay, I don't know what you want us to
As a
vote for.
community, so that, I mean, Tom, that's a really good point. We don't know that as a community,
It's advertised.
but we don't know what happens after that all the time. Where are you advertising?
We can't force people to work.
Patty will respond to that. There's a legal requirement. We advertise for, it has to be in the newspaper. You respond because you do it.
Yeah, we put the advertisement in the newspaper. It's usually on Facebook, on the website. The last advertisement was 3 or 4 years ago, and they just left it as an open advertisement. They haven't done any current advertising, but they haven't gotten any applicants.
Nobody wants to do it. There's no
You can
respect for
recruit.
police.
There are recruiting companies. Like, the world works that way.
There's been some turnover also through the
Lot
years
of
because there's.
Okay, well, let's stop this. Tom had a remark. I think you've already spoken. I'm going to go back to public comment if there's any public comment. If not, we'll move on with the meeting. Were you finished, Tom? I don't know. Was your,
I'm just confused.
okay. Last Chance Saloon.
I'm Bob Spokart. I'm not gonna walk up, okay, just 1 second. Is there any possibility of anybody on the council or within the borough administration contacting Pennsylvania Police Association and putting an advertisement directly with them, that they have then access to other people that might be interested besides just local? That's all.
Thank you, sir. That is a good point. Now, here we go. Last Chance Saloon for public comment. Public comment is now closed.
Jeff, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Real quick. As a small child growing up in.
Go up to the podium so they can, yes.
All right, as a small child growing up in this town, I remember Sheridan, Caton, Ronnie, and I did respect them. And I do think, being in the school system, the kids do need that presence. I believe that they need the presence of a police officer. I would have never went against Sheridan Caton. I mean, when he had his hat and his band, man, I respected Ron, I respected him, and I think that the people here are right when they say that if the kids see that, they're going to think twice about what they're doing. I'm not saying anything bad about Neil or the other officer because, like I said, their presence isn't probably seen enough. And I don't have anything against what Eddie said. I respect everything you said because you're entitled to what you feel too. But honestly, as a child growing up in this town, and Tom, I don't have anything against what you're saying because I don't know if people aren't applying or whatever. But I do agree that the kids need that presence. Thank you. And I brought with that. Thank you.
Okay, Patty, thank you. Okay, I think in our public comment, when it goes on an hour, we have the right to stop it. So I'm going to say, let's stop the public comment. If council wants to override that, we'll have a motion in a second. If not, we're going to move on with the meeting. So public comment is now closed. Does council want to override that decision? We need a motion in a second and a majority vote. Okay, President's report. I have none, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, out of my report, I want to get back to the side-by-side issue. First off, I want to make it known that I am pro side-by-side. I was for it when it was voted on. I'm still for it, but I am losing patience at a rapid pace. 80% of everybody on these side-by-sides are abiding by the law. They're respectful. They are doing everything that anyone would expect them to do. But there is a group or two groups or three groups that we have now on multiple cameras, multiple complaints on private property that feels the need to come into town at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning when the town is at peace. The town is so quiet at that time of night. You could actually hear two alley cats fighting 3 blocks over. So even when you try to sneak into town and there's a group of 15, 18, 20, sometimes 25 side-by-sides in a row coming into town at 2 o'clock in the morning, it sounds like a train is coming down that street. And then someone forgets to turn down the music. So that echoes up the alley or up the street. This was designed to let people ride the streets, bring people into town, hopefully, to come in and utilize some of our businesses. This wasn't designed for a free-for-all at 2 o'clock in the morning with side-by-sides coming into the borough and waking people up that have to go to work in the morning. So what I'm asking out of that community is while you still have some of our support, please look at yourself and look at your group that you're riding with and find some respect for the people in this community before it's too late and nobody will be on the streets with side-by-sides. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm trying to communicate with our solicitor here about his report. Junior council member is not here. The emergency management. Kevin has a report for us.
So in September, our emergency management plan, or operation plan, will expire. It's reviewed every 2 years. I compiled it tonight. It's in 3 sections. The basic plan is open to the public. Anyone can read it. It's basically a demographic of our community. It says about FEMA and PEMA. Another part of that is the notification resource manual, who to contact in case of emergency, which is not open to the public. Kind of goes with personal phone numbers and stuff on there. And last is checklists. You know, basically a checklist that follows an emergency. Being in September's approaching, plans here for to review. Penny has a copy of it and give it a couple months. Take a look at it. If things need to be changed, contact me and we'll change it. No problem. And then in the September timeframe, we can bring it up for vote. My second thing, since our mayor had talked about it, live one house outside the borough with the side-by-sides. Someone made a comment that they're licensed. Most of them are. There's a lot of them that aren't. So me, I'm in support of police presence. Someone to basically tell people you can't do it. I agree that it's great for people to go out and enjoy. Me sitting on my porch, I can't hear a conversation with my wife. And I don't live right next to the road. So you're right. A lot of people are following the rules. We need a police presence, someone to say, hey, listen, this is wrong. So that's my comment on that. Everything else for me, Is she able to make a copy of that so we can look at it?
Yes, and I can actually forward you a copy too. If you like.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Sure.
If you send it to Patty, she can just forward it to everybody.
I have it here, I can scan it.
Oh, I have it on thumb drive. I can
Oh,
send it
okay.
to you. Yeah.
That way you wouldn't have to scan all that stuff, save you a little bit of time.
Just like it.
Kevin, thanks a million. We appreciate your good works for us here at Meyersdale. Okay, the solicitor's report, I'm going to read. It's going to be very brief tonight. Update. Mark had said the Broadway bladed property. I asked for a motion to bid out and sell this property, but he's referring to the Salisbury Street property. So that's the one that we just had taken down and what was, I guess, arson under mysterious circumstances. So I guess what he's looking for is we make a motion to allow Patty to go ahead and advertise the bidding. If there's no discussion, we'll ask for that motion. Jeff makes a motion.
I'll second it.
Clarence seconds it, that we go ahead and advertise. And I would say, Patty, that we could open the bids next month.
And we're definitely gonna include that they have to pay a deposit down, like a 10% deposit. We had discussed that last month.
Yeah, but I don't know that we ever actually voted on that.
Then
It was
I make
discussed,
the
but-
motion.
Well, we already have a motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Unanimous, except for Karen. Okay, that could be another time, Karen. I mean, we discussed it. I don't think everybody was in favor of it as far as having a deposit on it. Let's see what
We
happens.
were, because the last person walked away after 6 months and we ended up with a big mess. So we decided all future bids, we were going to ask for some earnest money down to prevent the solicitor spending so much time on it.
Was that ever made a motion?
I have to research the minutes, I don't really remember. I know it was talked about.
We talked about, the only problem we had is somebody backed out. Mark went to the second bidder and somebody said we have to rebid it, which we didn't. The second bidder said, yes, I'm interested in it. And that's happened one time ever since I've been on council. Do we want to ask for a deposit down? I don't think it's necessary, but we made the motion to advertise it. Now we can discuss if you want to have a deposit.
I think we should have a minimum of 2,500 down in a deposit with the offer.
$2,500 down.
Some amount of money down.
Percentage, that's
Yeah,
that's
percentage.
standard, isn't it?
I think
When
so.
you bid on something, you
Yeah.
gotta give 10% right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't think we really ever made the decision. Well, look, let's, okay, Karen makes a motion.
A
We get 10% down.
non-refundable, well, but this property is only probably gonna bring a small amount of money. I think we do a non-refundable $2,500 down. Non-refundable.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay.
I think we should.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Aye. I think it's complicating things, but the motion passes. So anyway, that's hopefully one more property we're gonna get rid of. Number 2 on his report. Let's, quiet out there, folks. Ladies, gentlemen, quiet, please. Number 2, the ADA project. DAR signed the contract and provided the bond and proofs of insurance. They are applying for the permits, and I actually filled out they have a land use permit that PMCA was requesting. So Brad and I worked that out. So that's moving forward nicely, I think. And they have a time frame till the end of the year to get it done. With the addition for the door here, I think it's around $59,000. Patty, does that ring a bell? It's
Closer, I think,
close.
60,000.
I think it's 59 something. Item number 3, flood control repair project. I am finalizing the documents for the right of ways and easements. The Army Corps is reviewing the proposed agreements. We had a meeting discussing that a couple weeks ago, last week. Now, this is a project on the lower end. This isn't the project that Kevin was here with cleaning out the basin. in the lower end between the Army Corps and DEP. The DEP is gonna pay our 25%, so the borough won't have to pay anything. And that's gonna be well over $1 million project. Probably most people will never see it, but there are some erosion problems down there getting close to the holding pond. Right, Brian?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say on that?
No.
We have a route?
Have a route in place.
Okay, so that they can go in and, Bob's on the committee too. He was here at the meeting. And finally, the High Street Bridge, CSX inspected the bridge last week and will be sending the borough its decision to either repair or replace the bridge soon. So we've kind of designated our solicitor as a go-between. So that is his report. Don't ask any questions, because.
Here's one.
I would just like to clarify it.
Go ahead.
So the highest bidder on the Salisbury Street vacant lot has backed out. Solicitor Valentine will reach out to the second highest bidder. Solicitor Valentine suggests that in the future, a non-refundable down payment should be required. That was in the solicitor's report from the meeting minutes for this month.
Thank you so much. So that's the solicitor's report. Code enforcement. Committee reports, municipal authority. Barry, anything ownership and control structure? Karen had sent a request around to the council that we would have, she was wanting to have delineated the exactly what responsibility the council has with regard to the MMA, how much authority we have, and just how the progress or the works are divided up. Marco's going to report on that. He's not here tonight. So I would say, Patty, if you would keep that on the agenda. He's prepared to give a report and ask questions on that one. Street foreman, Brian.
Can we ask a question since Barry and others are here? There's concern in the community. There's a lot of social media posts. Bill's not going out. Are they still going to be due at the end of the month?
As far, I mean, I'll respond with what I know. I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, we have had computer issues, big time. We have had people in that they are training our new secretary. Some of it, I can't get into the problems particularly. Hopefully, I did not get a chance to talk to her today. I'm hoping that we get residential bills out this week. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the commercial bills went out Friday. So we are working on it. There's been a lot of concern, I understand. It is not our intent to push people's bills where they go over the minimum, because a lot of people pay the minimum, and I understand their concerns. We don't like it either. I mean, I haven't paid my bill either. But other than that, that's really all I can tell you. And unfortunately, I wasn't prepared kind of to address that. The social media does not help. I mean, currently, as I understand it, we can't even get into our website yet. I mean, it's a mess. It is a real mess. And that's really all I'm gonna address on that.
Barry, anything to add?
No, she did a good job.
Okay.
Jeff, why did this come about?
Karen sent that out requesting control, and it says there, ownership and control. It was Karen's baby, and she had some concerns about what the borough's responsibility would be. And so that's why she sent it out. And
Okay, I just didn't know
the
why.
solicitor was prepared to have a report. It was in the email. And Mark, I don't know, Mark said some of it was AI generated, which may or may not be true. I didn't really research it except. Okay, anything else on the water authority? The municipal authority, excuse me. Okay, Meyersdale Merchants Association and the Farmers Market.
I'll speak on that. We had a meeting at the end of June, and we have a new slate of officers
I'm not sure who's in what position because I'm not one of them. And the farmer's market's going okay. It's, we've had either extreme heat, extreme wind. They're trying really hard to do different things to bring people. I'm not real clear on how things are going down there. So we are doing the golf event at the end of August. I think the teams are all filled up, but they're still looking for some sponsorships.
Thank you very much, Denise. Sorry, Brian, I missed over you.
Quite okay.
Street foreman,
As you can see, we got some of the streets paved this year. Ron and I went out the other day, he inspected them, I think all's good. They did a really good job this year with them. And then I also have a proposal. Now, this is for the cameras at the playground. Luke Jaron was down to the playground, he worked on the cameras about a week ago. And he asked if we had internet for those particular cameras, and I told him we did not. He suggested that we get a wireless pre-programmed radio, which what it is they'll put a radio on the corner of this building over by Corey Albright's, and then they'll put the other one on the pole down by the playground. And what that does, it transmits the wireless signal from this building down to that building. So with those cameras down there, the police will have 24-hour access to those cameras. So if they're in their car, if they're sitting at home, they can access those cameras as they can up with the ones uptown. He gave me the proposal. It was $1,735. So I don't know if you guys want to go for something like that or not.
Does it have night vision capability or?
Those cameras down there do. The only thing this would be for is to give the police access to those cameras from their vehicle or from their phones, 24/7, just like they have uptown.
and this would be a separate Wi-Fi. He's not gonna.
Oh, no, this
Come
would
off.
be, it would come off of this building.
They're kind
So
of
you
like
shoot it down there.
Yeah, this would be
A repeater or something.
basically like a repeater. He would-
Well, what do we think?
We have the money. I'll make a motion.
To do it? Jeff, did you want to say something first?
No, sure.
Are you making a second?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, 1, 2. Jeff and Tom, for go ahead and moving forward with this. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A unanimous vote. And Brian, remember, we had that presentation we presented, maybe Patty has it on the agenda, about upgrading the lights around the track.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's down here further.
Okay, we have that on the list. Okay, good. Anything else, sir?
No, so this, I can go ahead with Luke.
Tell him to do it. It was approved.
Jeff, while you're on the streets, could I bring up that Keystone Line was finished with the project?
Yes.
It was $109,836.31 payable from the highway aid. Somebody can make a motion to pay that.
I'll make that motion and we pay that bill. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Yes, ma'am. Public comment is over, but
Well, I just wanted to say, I don't know what he has up at his building, but he has something with cameras at his new building in Boynton. And it comes on their phones, and he can see everything that goes on in that parking lot and building.
That's
And it's
exactly what it
worth,
is.
I mean, when someone pulls in there, it comes up on a number of telephones that they know what's going on. So
it's a good thing. You're saying you're supporting this.
Yeah, it's a good idea, if it's anything like what he has, because someone pulls in and they know something's going on. So, anytime, night or day. So it would be a benefit.
Thank you for that input. Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, public library. Anybody here from the library? Meyersdale Community Events, Jeffrey.
Yes, the fireworks, showed up wet, 7 o'clock. Everything cleared up and the fireworks went, great. And then, about the stage, I'm gonna put that, off to next month, let the stage on out.
So Patty, you can keep that on the agenda for next month. Is that it, Jeff?
Yep.
Council committees, okay, police, public safety, Mr. Mayor, or Karen.
We are asking for a police hire tonight. Myself and the committee interviewed a Mr. Raymond McCoy. Currently works at Conemaugh Township. He is looking for some part-time work. He's free all hours and is really, how do I want to put it, eager to work overnight hours.
That's what we need. Absolutely.
So we're asking that,
Do you have a resume or anything with you?
The police committee reviewed that and you took care of that. So it's a unanimous recommendation to the police committee that we go ahead. So,
I'll make the motion that.
Okay. And a second. Jeff seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
I had one thing. So, cleaning up the police station, again, does not include replacing the floor. Neil was away for a week and Serpro, the manager, was away for about 10 days. They were out today, and met Neil, in the police station. So again, more to come on what that's, but we already have the budget approved. So hopefully we'll be able to work that out and get the station cleaned up. I did ask them, I talked to Rick, I did ask them if our dehumidifiers down there, because they're saying it's so musty and stuff, are commercial grade and sufficient to handle the area, and if not, to make a recommendation. So I'll send an email once we get the final price and have that all lined up.
And it says approved police agreement. That'll be discussed first in the executive session along with the non-uniform contract. We're trying to negotiate that also. So we do need an executive session tonight. Personnel, finance we did. Anything from refuse, recycling study? Streets, flood control, we've discussed the flood control. I'm going through these fast. Stop me if I go too fast. Zoning ordinance review, I don't think there's anything new on that. Animal noise ordinance. Now, this had been discussed, and then Shane, we had punted to get your opinion on this animal noise ordinance. I read through it, and I think some people had concerns that how are we gonna ever enforce it? But do you have any comments on that, Shane, or?
no, I mean, I know that the officers, they reached out to Humane Society, state police, things of that nature, everywhere that they could about this noise ordinance. And the only way that this will be able to be enforced and stick is with video evidence. If it goes to a he said, she said type of thing, every single time it will be thrown out. So I'm not opposed to an ordinance at all. I just want to make sure if we, or when we do this ordinance, that it gives us some teeth, you know, that.
Well, in the ordinance, it requires the complainant to provide the documentation.
And that documentation has to be video evidence.
So is that in the, I don't remember what exactly.
I don't remember.
Is it in the ordinance?
I thought in the ordinance it stated
Documentation.
yes.
I don't think it says video.
I don't think it was specific of what type of documentation. Because she has been dealing with barking dogs for a long time, and there has been nothing that we have been able to help documentation, so.
What does it say for documentation?
Well, Article 2, documentation and procedure. The person making the complaint herein referred to as a complainant shall be an aggrieved property owner or resident that is directly impacted by the nuisance, meaning an adjoining or adjacent property owner. The complainant shall document the nuisance by keeping a written log specifying the location, type, details, times, dates of the nuisance, pictures, electronic documentation, and other documentation to substantiate the claims. Should I keep going? C, the complainant shall provide written complaint to the offending owner detailing the nuisance prior to filing a complaint with the police department or its designee. After the complainant provides a written complaint to the offending owner, a subsequent nuisance event of the same type can be reported to the police department or its designee. The complainant shall provide a written notice and documentation of the nuisance to the police department or its designee. F, the complainant shall testify and attend a hearing at any subsequent hearings. The police department or its designee shall investigate each complaint. The police department or its designee has sole discretion as to whether or not to proceed to enforcement and in filing at the magistrate. The last one, nothing in this ordinance prevents or preempts the aggrieved party from filing a private nuisance in civil court against the aggrieving party if the borough does not proceed against the aggrieving party. So that is your documentation there, Shane.
It said electronic.
It has to be electronic.
It says electronic.
It does.
A written report will not do it.
It says a lot.
But the written report that backs up the video. Yeah, I mean.
Agreed.
Can we try?
I'll make a motion that we adopt this noise ordinance.
You have to advertise it first. You can't adopt it before you.
Okay.
We'll
so
make the motion.
Make a motion that we advertise.
Okay, Bob does make that motion. Jeff seconds it. Clarence thirds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. There, we got that pushed through. High Street Bridge update. I think we heard that from Mark. He's working on it. Like I say, he is our sole contact with CSX. Grants update. Karen, do we have any?
Yeah, so the MTF, we've spent a lot of hours working on that to get the drawings, the bid sheets. I sent everybody on council the initial drawing of what we're trying to do. The back ramp was not qualified. Aspire recommended they can get us money very likely for a study on the playground to take a broad approach to it. It could include the lighting improvements we want. It could include security if we want. The track we're concerned about, some ADA accessibility. Do we have, Brian, we have a designated parking spot, but is it painted blue for handicap down there by the park,
That's all.
by the playground?
That's all right.
So we should have, so we could apply for a grant to get an engineer to come out, draw up plans, and do an assessment of what we could do to permanently improve the entire facility. I mean, they would look at the dugouts. We only have one bathroom down there in the pavilion. Drives me crazy every time we have events. So that can be down the road. We can look for a grant. So the MTF is gonna include basically front access to the ADA out here, so they don't have to go through the grass, which is not really legal. It's doing some landscaping around the building. The police have a hard time getting down to their door in the basement, so it'd be a sidewalk. It's a new sign for out front. And then because we are on the corner of two PennDOT roads, you can't cut in a road off of a state highway without a lot of rigmarole, and it would be dangerous probably. So we're gonna cut in a driveway from Dale Street across, would be a turnaround, parking for 2 police cars, and fixing out back where we have the ADA parking for this building. It's not paved and it's not very nice there. We had to get the grant over $100,000. So we've put a lot of things for this building into it. It's due at the end of the month. Tomorrow I'll have all the drawings back. I'll have all the bid sheets and I'll start working with Brooke and Aspire, and we should hear about that grant in January. I touched base with Mark Craig today. He's working on 2 different prices for new police cruiser. That'll be the LSA grant that goes in the fall. And then we'll have to decide the next grant we want to pursue. I know we have a lot of support on this MTF grant and the LSA, so I'm very hopeful. If you don't apply, you're not going to get money. And we got $250,000 last year. The town will be paying the $230,000 to clean up the debris basin and the flood control if we wouldn't have applied for that grant. We got money for flood victims last year. We got money towards new Christmas lights in town. So I think we've been pretty successful, but we have to keep at it.
Electrical upgrade at the playground. LED sign update.
Yeah, I said, you got the paper. The price of that is $7,270. We got approval from PennDOT, but the distance from the center of the line to the line is, PennDOT said it's good. We talked to Leeward Cook, there's electrical out there. Leeward could probably hook us up with electric. Airlock, put packets up for us to get the sign fit in there. So all this, we need to get approval to see if we want to get this LED sign.
It's up to everybody. It is part of the grant that we'll hear back from in January. The other thing that I'm a little concerned about, one of our citizens in town is retired in the advertising business, and I didn't know that she focused in Atlanta on LED signage. And she had a lot of questions, like the sign that they're proposing has so many pixels that we could actually put graphics on it, and it'd be really nice. Because like if you look at the one uptown on the side of the building towards our park, it looks real pixelated and it's kind of hard to read. Like this would be a really, really high quality LED sign if we get the grant. So I love all the work that Jeff's done and really appreciate that. I just don't know how that compares to the one with her knowledge that she's presenting. That's what I am not clear on.
Well, if this, you say this could be part of the grant, then I would say we wait, maybe get some more quotes and then move forward with it. If we get money for it, it'd be foolish to rush it right now, don't you think?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, I just stuff like this.
Okay. Is anybody objecting to that? Okay, new business announcements, upcoming appointments. We have 2 to appoint here. The first is the Meyersdale Borough Uniform Construction Code of Appeals Board. And the term is up now, and I think it's a 3-year term, right, Patty? We staggered them. So Kevin Yoder currently holds that position. I spoke with Kevin and he has agreed to allow us to reappoint him. This was advertised. We received no interest at all. In fact, all the others, when we staggered these, I had to call every single person. We advertised it and nobody applies for this stuff. So could we have a motion to reappoint Kevin Yoder for 3 years? Ron and Clarence, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Zoning Hearing Board Member, term up July 26th. We have 1 application. It's for a 3-year term. This is from Eric Hunsberger, 601 Salisbury Street, dated July 13th. I am interested in being reappointed to the Zoning Board Committee. I presently serve in this committee as a member and previously served as an alternate. Thank you for your consideration, Eric Hunsberger. And Patty, that's the only person that was interested.
I'll make a motion.
Jeff and Clarence. All those in favor say aye. I'm going to abstain. So I'll fill out the form. Hey, Barry, would you do me a big favor and serve as the alternate? We need 2 alternates to the zoning board. You hardly ever have to do anything, but you live in town here. She's on, this is like an alternate. You would only be, Jeff Brenneman is the other one, and Mark Valentine and I have a $50 bet that I can't find anybody to go on it. And I'll split it to $25, I'll give you $25.
Nothing to work with her.
Well, yes, but no. Yes, that was, the money was a joke, but then we'd have, you'll probably only have to do it maybe once. But it's just, you would be an alternate. Will you do that for me?
I got one time in several years, so it's not a lot.
Okay, could we please have a motion then to appoint Barry Yoder as the other alternate? And when will that term expire? And Jeff Brenneman, those are the 2 alternates. Mark was concerned if we have to have a zoning board, which there have been more and more of them, that if Eric can't make it or Sarah's away, and the alternate wouldn't be available. So this way, there'll be a greater chance that the meeting could continue. So I knew Barry would help me out. Okay. Roland makes a motion. We put Barry on as the alternate, and Karen seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Barry, you just got hornswoggled.
Aren't you glad you came tonight, Barry?
Yeah. On the agenda, it's been so long that we had a second alternate. Could we just make that end at the same time, and then that way they'll both be on the same?
When does it end?
February 2027.
Yes, I would do it. Okay, well, there we made some progress. We had a complaint from somebody against a tree on 116 Market Street. I went down and looked at it. It's right below here. And that's not the borough. We can't go in there and take that tree down. It looked to me like it's pretty healthy. We had I think Mrs. Brisky complained about it. But did anybody else take a look at that? What do you think?
It's a decent tree. It was just one branch that fell out of it. It was a pretty good sized limb, but it was one piece. The tree itself is still healthy.
Yeah, so that's not really our responsibility.
There's a lot of trees along Beakley Street fallen lately, concerning.
Well, you know, those trees are the property owners. I had one go in my backyard, and Brian came in on a Saturday afternoon, pushed it off the alley because it was blocking Apple Avenue, and then I had to get the whole tree taken down. So that's just part of owning a property in Meyersdale. Okay, goals and grants. Let's see how fast we can get through these. We discussed the flood control debris basin, and then our 3 to 5 year goal, community center improvements. We touched on that. Update equipment. The 250th celebration is ongoing. Increased police protection. We did that. Plus, we'll leave that on there. Storm drain review, mapping and cleaning. Police SUV, we discussed that. So tonight. So if there's nothing else, it is 7:42. I would ask for a motion that we do go into executive session. Ron makes a motion. Jeff seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Let's take about a 1 minute break. We'll ask everybody to clear the chambers, please, for this. Dan's going to shut off the camera, and then we'll record.